Okay, welcome back to part 2 of the water-soluble vitamins. The folate or folic acid. If we look at this diagram, we can see the sources of folate in foods. It is present in the form of polyglutamate. Folate occurs as monoglutamate in fortified foods and supplements. If you add methyl group, this reaction is in the intestine. Digestion breaks glutamates off and adds a methyl group, and folate is absorbed and delivered to the cells. In the cells, folate is trapped in its inactive form. In the presence of vitamin B12, vitamin B12 breaks and splits the folate. It removes the CH3 group, and this activates the folate. So to activate folate, vitamin B12 removes and keeps the methyl group. It takes actually the methyl group. The vitamin B12 takes the methyl group from the folic acid. So when the methyl group is removed from folic acid, it becomes activated. And at the same time, when the methyl group is added to the vitamin B12, the vitamin B12 becomes activated. So both the folate coenzyme and the vitamin B12 coenzymes are now active when the methyl group has been transferred from the folate to the vitamin B12. Other names for folate are folic acid or folacin, terroyl glutamic acid or PGA. The RDA in 1998 for adults 400 microgram per day, and the upper level for adults is 1000 microgram per day or 1 milligram per day. Chief functions in the body. It's a part of coenzymes THF, tetrahydrofolate, and DHF, dihydrofolate, used in DNA synthesis, and therefore it's important in new cell formation. It has got a role in preventing cancers. Sources include in fortified grains, leafy green vegetables, legumes, seeds, and liver. Folate deficiency symptoms gives rise to neural tube defects like spina bifida or even more severe anencephaly or anencephaly. It gives rise to anemia, which is a macrocytic anemia or a large cell type. The size of the red cells are larger than the usual normal size. Homocysteine accumulation, which enhances arterial wall deterioration, and this predisposes to heart disease. Smooth red tongue because of inflammation. Mental confusion, weakness, fatigue, irritability, and headache. Toxicity symptoms. When folic acid is present in excess, it masks vitamin B12 deficiency symptoms. Vitamin B12, we can look also at this reaction. For vitamin B12 to be activated, it must take the methyl group from the folic acid. So there is a relation between folic acid and vitamin B12. When the methyl group is transferred from the folic acid to the vitamin B12, the folic acid becomes activated and the B12 becomes at this point activated. For the absorption of vitamin B12, it needs a compound or a substance secreted from the stomach. It's called the intrinsic factor. This intrinsic factor combines with vitamin B12, forming a complex, and this complex is the absorption form for vitamin B12 in the small intestine, in the ileum. Deficiency of folic acid and vitamin B12, both deficiencies gives rise to a type of anemia called pernicious anemia. The picture on the left side shows the normal red cell size and color. If we look on the right side, we find that the red cells are abnormal, but mostly they are larger in size compared to the normal RBCs. So it is called megaloblastic red cells. Mega means large, or macrocytic red cells, and macro also means large. And if we compare the colors, the red cells in vitamin B12 or folic acid deficiency are much paler. So it's called macrocytic hypochromic anemia. Vitamin B12, other names cobalamin and related forms. In 1998, the RDA for adults was 2.4 microgram per day. Chief functions in the body, it's a part of coenzymes methylcobalamin and deoxyadenosyl cobalamin used in new cell synthesis. It helps to maintain the nerve cells. It reforms folate coenzyme. Reforms means it activates. It helps to break down some fatty acids and amino acids. Significant sources are animal products like meat, fish, poultry, shellfish, milk, cheese, and eggs, as well as fortified cereals. It is easily destroyed by microwave cooking. Vitamin B12, like folic acid deficiency, gives rise to pernicious anemia. It's of the large cell type, characterized by fatigue, degeneration of the peripheral nerves, progressing up to complete paralysis. There are no toxicity symptoms reported for vitamin B12. Non-B vitamins. These are compounds such as choline, inositol, and carnitine. They are grouped as collectively as non-B vitamins. They are water soluble, but they are not true vitamins. And we're going to take a choline as an example for this group called the non-B vitamins. The adequate intake for choline in men is 550, for women is 425 milligrams per day. Upper level is 3,500 milligrams per day. Chief functions of the body is needed for the synthesis of the neurotransmitter acetylcholine and the phospholipid lecithin. Deficiency leads to liver damage. Toxicity leads to body odor, sweating, salivation, reduced growth rate, low blood pressure, and liver damage. So we get liver damage with deficiency as well as with toxicity. Significant sources include milk, liver, eggs, and peanuts. Metabolic pathways involving the B vitamins. As we have seen, most of the B vitamins are involved in the production of ATP or production of energy. They work as coenzymes at different stages of the glucose oxidation or in the energy production of ATP. We can find FAD, FMNN, THF, the PLP, the thiamine. They are at different stages in the oxidation of glucose or the energy production pathways. Vitamin C. Vitamin C. This reaction explains the most important property of vitamin C, which is protection against oxidative damage and antioxidant. How? By donating its two hydrogen, it gives its two hydrogens with their electrons to free radicals, which are molecules with unpaired electrons. In doing so, ascorbic acid becomes dihydroascorbic acid. When the hydrogens are removed, it becomes dihydroascorbic acid. And dihydroascorbic acid can readily accept hydrogen to become ascorbic acid again. The reversibility of this reaction is the key to vitamin C's role as an antioxidant, which is the most important property of vitamin C. Other names for vitamin C is ascorbic acid. In 2000, the RDA for men was 90 milligrams per day, for women was 75 milligrams per day, and smokers need an extra 35 milligrams per day. Upper level for adults, 2000 milligrams per day. Chief functions of the body, they are very important. They have a very important role in the process of collagen synthesis. It strengthens the blood vessels walls, forms scar tissue, provides matrix for bone growth. It's an antioxidant. It has a role in thyroxine synthesis, amino acid metabolism. It strengthens the resistance to infection and helps in the absorption of iron. Significant sources include citrus fruits like lemon, orange, cabbage type vegetables, dark green vegetables such as bell peppers and broccoli, cantaloupe, strawberries, lettuce, tomatoes, potatoes, papayas, and mangoes. It is easily destroyed by heat and oxygen. Scurvy is the disease resulting from vitamin C deficiency. Symptoms include hemorrhage from bleeding gums to massive internal bleeding, muscle degeneration, including heart muscle, skin becomes rough, brown, scaly, and dry, delayed wound healing and bone fractures, teeth become loose, anemia, infections, and psychological symptoms like hysteria and depression. Toxicity symptoms gives rise to nausea, abdominal cramps, and diarrhea. Thank you very much.